What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. I got a new guitar. Before we get into today's subject, I just want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters, as well as the YouTube members down there, and everybody who uses the super thanks button and all that stuff supporting the channel. It's you all that make getting guitars for the channel possible. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do it because PRS isn't going to send me anything for free these days. So, yeah, pretty cool. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, I used to have a PRS Silver Sky, the core model. I have a PRS Silver Sky SE sitting up there. I sold my first one, and I regretted it the day I sold it. It was one of those things where I wanted to make some other major guitar purchases. You know, I think we bought a Les Paul and we bought some other stuff. And, you know, something had to go. And I missed it. From the day I let it go, I got another one. So here it is. And it is the Roxy Pink. We don't need to do a full review on this guitar. You've probably seen many videos about the Silver Sky over the years. But what we want to talk about today is the constant conversation about guitar setup and quality control. This guitar is fantastic. I've been playing it a bunch over the last, well, I got it yesterday, and I've been playing it a ton. But there are some things that I want to change. But what we want to understand here is, just because the guitar isn't what I like, doesn't mean that it's a quality control issue. I haven't measured anything yet, but we're going to see how far off what you think is correct and what you want and what I want on this setup. And you can put what your setup preferences are in the comments down below, how high you like your action, etc., etc. Put that in the comments below, and we're going to look at what this thing comes like. Here's the thing. There's a little too much neck relief in this guitar for me. I like it to be a little flatter, and I also, well, flat, and I also think that the string height is too high. It is a 7 1/4 inch radius. As long as the fretwork is good, we'll be able to get away with a bunch lower, I think, on the action. But does that mean that the guitar went out of the shop improperly? Does that mean that's bad quality control? Absolutely not. I would think that with a 7 1/4 radius that this is pretty, you know, I mean, it's high, but it feels great and it plays great. And unless you were really particular, you'd just play this guitar. It'd be the way it is. Some folks would get this guitar and say, I can't believe this action was so high when I got it out of the, you know, and make a bunch of stupid posts on Facebook and in Facebook groups and stuff. I think all of that is unnecessary. It is my opinion that you should take a brand new guitar out of the box, play it for a day, let it acclimate to your climate, and then look at the setup and decide how much you want to adjust it for your playing style. Or if you don't know how to set up a guitar, you know, if you ordered it from Sweetwater or whatever, have them do it, or have your local dealer do it. Pay the 50, 60, 75 bucks and have it done, instead of complaining about it as a quality control issue. So, now that we've played it a bunch, let's go ahead and get it over to the bench. Let's make a bunch of measurements. I want to measure the nut height, make sure that that is consistent and low enough. I want to measure the string height. But before we do that, I think I want to flatten out the neck relief on this guitar. We're going to make all of our adjustments. We're going to decide what we want to do here, and then we will play it again. Okay, first things first, I want to check the neck relief on this thing. Now, I want the neck pretty flat, so I'm going to put my first finger on, or my pinky finger on the first fret, and then where the nut, or where the neck joins the body, which is right about here. And then I'll go about halfway in between. Yeah, that's higher than I like. I want it actually to be flat. So we'll go ahead and get this truss rod cover off, and we'll make an adjustment to that. We'll flatten out that neck. Give us a good basis to make the rest of our adjustments off of. All right, so when we're making a truss rod adjustment, let's pull that string out of the way and pull that string out of the way so we don't ruin them. Let's get this guy in here. There we go. And we're gonna give it about a little more than 1/8 of a turn. And I'm going to see how much difference that makes. We're not talking about a lot here. I think people overdo these measurements sometimes, or these adjustments. A little more. All right, so that's just about flat. And I think I like it right there. All right, so handy dandy nut height dude. Let's turn it on. Reset the 0. Push the plunger down. 23. Put it on the next set string. Reset it. Push the plunger down. Let's see. Let's do that again. 23. 25. 19. Could probably turn this thing around, but we'll get it. 18. Okay, that is pretty much perfect. I would rather the low E be at about 20 or 22, but we need to bring the action down on the other end, so I think that will compensate it all out pretty well. All right, so just because of the angle of everything, you may not be able to see this very well. $66, $69, $73, $65, $66. Yeah, okay. All this needs to come down. I'm going to bring it down to 60 thousandths, I think. All right, let's get it tuned back up. So we set up the guitar how I like it set up. Basically, pretty much flat on the radius, or I mean on the neck relief. We ended up at 20 thousandths. Once I brought the action down, we ended up at 20 thousandths at the nut, which is what I like. And we got 60 thousandths all the way down and about 55 on the B and the E. So customized the setup of the guitar to what I like. And you know, you might not like that. You might want it a little higher. You might want it a little lower. The only thing I might change is we might raise the low E just a touch, because I feel like I got a little fret buzz there that I, loose fret buzz there that I don't like. So I may raise that up just a little bit, but I don't know. I'm going to play it some more and see. Because I don't really play like that. So, this is the other thing people do. They'll sit here and go, it's making a fret buzz. You don't really play like that. So play properly, how you're going to play. Figure out how you want the guitar set up. And don't blame the manufacturer for pulling a guitar out of the case for the first time and being like, oh, I can't believe this setup sucks. Now, okay, yes, we do have some outliers that are terrible. But if you're going to do this work anyway, why complain about it, right? It doesn't much matter. Now, obviously, you know, we get into other things like bad fretwork and, you know, missing parts and that kind of stuff. It makes sense. But every new guitar, I don't care if it's used, if it's new, if it's whatever, if it's new to you, set it down on the bench once you understand what your setup is that you like and do it. It did not cost a lot of money, and it only took me about 15 minutes to do it. That was probably with making the video. Like, it doesn't take that long. There's a StewMac toolkit over there that I used, and then if you want to get super fancy, you can use that digital height gauge, which I definitely recommend because you could see I could get it within a couple of thousandths. All the way across, which is super consistent, which is way better than feeler gauges or doing it by eye or anything like that. Because most people that do this can't see very well. So it's kind of nice to have that kind of cheater. And lifetime warranty on the tools and stuff. I'll put a link to them in the description. But now I'm just going to go play this guitar some more because now I absolutely love it. I loved it before, but now it's really, really good. Do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what your favorite setup is. Did you get a bad setup from a manufacturer? Was it good? Let me know. Let me know those things in the comments. I know you will. Anyway, be nice about it. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.